Yo, what's going on, everybody? The Cool Geek here, and I'm at you with another video. And as you can probably tell, I've changed my editing format once again, but I'm trying to see what works. But today I'm talking about power scaling, what it is and how you use it. So let's get into it. So yeah, as I said before, this is a dimensional tiering video. It's kind of like a follow-up to my dimensional tiering video, but not exactly. There are a few terms that I wasn't really familiar with before, and now I'm much more familiar with them. I had a lot of practice debating and stuff since then, so yeah, also a lot of the things from back then, like I used to throw around the term omnipotent, right? Like, oh yeah, the one above all is omnipotent. Now don't attack me. Yeah, I know he's not. Okay, just that's what we were all going that with at the time. That was the current meta, and like humans and characters, there's development, right? There's increases in competency over time, right? So yeah, this is basically to fix some of the gaps. Also, that was only dimensional tiering. This is the entire new power scaling meta. But I do recommend you watch that video before this one so you'll know exactly what it means to be a dimensional tier higher than someone. Just ignore the stuff about omnipotence and nigh omnipotence and stuff. Also, you can ignore the omniverse stuff because that, I mean, to be fair, it's a plausible, like, it could be in real life sort of deal, but it's not what we use in the versus battle meta, okay? But, yeah, and I mentioned in that video that I was using string theory, right? And there's at least 9 different spatial dimensions. And I was like, but in versus battles, we also use time as a temporal dimension, so time would be the 4th dimension. And M theory is basically just the revision of string theory to patch up those holes, right? And it does say 10 to 11 dimensions, which is at bare minimum 10 because, you know, time, they're including now as the 4th dimension. And then they continue on with spatial dimensions, and then they add, you know, it could be 11 because, you know, other temporal dimensions or possibly other spatial dimensions, you know, so 10 to 11 dimensional structures, right? Now, the reason I felt the need to make this video is, one, it was an idea by Konoha TV Network, sub to his channel. If you don't remember who he is, I had him on the channel, I think 4 videos back or something like that. But, he's not really a power scaler, right? He basically just does Naruto stuff and, like, like, universe versus battles, like, Minato versus the Third Raikage. I highly recommend you check that out. Link to his channel and our collab will be in the iCard to the top right of the screen. So yeah, he does like mostly inner versus battle stuff, so it's not really as power scaling oriented. Although it kind of is. Like, you don't have to say, oh well, Naruto's planetary and freaking Kaguya star level. It's not really relevant. You don't need to do that. You just say, well, Kaguya is stronger than Naruto. It's just blatant. She like outclasses him. But it's still there, but it's not like hardcore power scaling like what you do when you compare Naruto to, say, Dragon Ball, right? Um, Now, that's the inspiration for this video, and I guess I should specify a few things before I get started, which are his main questions, right, that didn't really dawn on me, but, I mean, it makes sense that people have these questions. But the first thing was, well, some people say, well, Naruto's not planetary, he's never blown up a planet. But people say, well, Goku's planetary, but he has never blown up a planet either. So what's the deal there? Well, to be planetary, you don't necessarily have to blow up a planet. Well, he said planet buster, right? You don't have to be a planet buster. You don't have to bust a planet to be a planet buster. He used the analogy that, well, if you call someone a serial killer, but they haven't killed anybody, they're not really a serial killer. So, technically, they're not really a planet buster if they haven't busted a planet, right? That was his question, right? And I completely understand where he's coming from, and a lot of people that aren't really power scalers. But let me explain, right? If you're a planet buster, it doesn't necessarily mean you do bust planets. It means you can bust planets. And to the people that say Naruto's not planetary, they haven't seen my Naruto power scale, okay? Um, but yeah, Naruto is planetary. Those people that say, oh, well, Goku's planetary and Naruto's not, um, they don't know about Naruto, okay? Because Naruto has fought against people that can blow up planets, and 9 chances out of 10, right? Durability, uh, attack potency, your durability is equal to your attack potency, if not greater. And what that means is basically if someone has an attack that has enough force to blow up a planet, um, and you tank it, usually your attack potency scales to this, right? If you tank this hit and you don't die, right? If you get punched in the face really hard by a planet buster and you don't die, and they use just as much force when they punch you as they do when they bust a planet, then yeah, you have planetary levels of durability, and usually your attack potency scales to this, um, but your durability should also scale to your attack potency, because when you punch with these like planetary like forces, you have to be able to withstand the backlash or else you will die. But yeah, that's important. So yeah, basically, and the thing about Dragon Ball that makes it easier than a lot of other series is Ki amplifies all stats. So if someone beats someone else in a fight, you can confidently say, yeah, they're faster, stronger, and more durable. But in other series, it's not quite that concrete. Like how, for instance, let me think. What's a good? Okay, like Gaara, right? When he's in Shikaku mode, he's way stronger than Chunin Exam's era Kakashi, but Kakashi's way faster, right? Kakashi would completely blitz that Gaara, but that Gaara would completely one-shot that Kakashi. So it's a bit more difficult to scale like Naruto characters, because being stronger doesn't necessarily mean faster, and faster doesn't necessarily mean stronger. But on the flip side, durability and attack potency pretty much always scale to each other, unless otherwise stated not to. Okay, but yeah, I think that's just about it. Also, combat speed does not equal movement speed. Like, if I can run a mile in, like, freaking... If I could run a quarter mile in 90 seconds, I might be able to, throw a punch twice that fast, right? So yeah, if I punch at freaking, 9 meters per second, I might be able to punch at 8 meters per second or something, especially if you're a martial artist. That's something people need to understand more, because, like, who's faster, Usain Bolt or Bruce Lee, right? Usain Bolt's the fastest runner alive, right? But Bruce Lee was one of the fastest fighters alive. As a matter of fact, I venture to say Bruce Lee is the fastest fighter of all time, and Usain Bolt's the fastest runner of all time. In, human terms, of course. Like, I'm not saying Usain Bolt will outrun a cheetah or something, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. Combat speed and striking speed, not the same thing. Also, lifting strength is not the same as striking strength, right? Just because you can curl 20 pounds doesn't mean you can punch with 20 pounds worth of force. For instance, world champion boxers, I think it's stated that they can punch with like 700 pounds casually, and a lot of them, because they're not power lifters, right? They train to punch hard. They don't train to lift. So of course they might not be able to curl 500 pounds even, right? But they can punch with 700. So lifting and striking strength do not scale to each other in real life or in fiction, unless specifically stated to. That's another thing. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually scale real life, because like when I talk about power scaling, uh, sometimes I'll scale like real life people, like me and my friends, and stuff like that. But yeah, you can actually scale real life people, as like I said, if you can, uh, like if you are punch harder than someone who is, who can, if you say, okay, pretend you had a weight, right, and you can punch with, like 20, if you have like a machine, like in the, Buu Saga of Dragon Ball Z, where you punch this machine and it tells you, how much force you have, right? Now say, a boxer, right, they punch with 700 pounds of force, right? Now say a better boxer comes in and they're fighting, they each take turns fighting this dude, right? And the first boxer who punches with 700 pounds worth of force, he hurts the guy, right? And the second boxer comes in and freaking one-shots that guy. Boxer 2, therefore, can punch with over 700 pounds of force, right? So that's how that works. And then if you can tank 700 pounds worth of force, right? And and it hurts, and someone else tanks 700 pounds worth of force and doesn't even flinch, that second person is more durable, right? And then if you can punch pretty fast and I can punch faster, then, well, I punch faster. I mean, I don't, do I have to explain that? But maybe, I don't know. See, I've been at this for a while now. And by a while, I mean, like, I don't know, a little over a year. But anyway, I'm rambling now. So let's get into the actual, meta. Now, let's start with the weakest of the weak, right? The gum of the shoe, right? This is tier 11. And we start at 11C, right? Point level. Zero-dimensional characters. And those qualitatively inferior to them. So, like, this is literally characters that, like, they basically just don't exist. Like, they're so fodder that they're non-existent to one-dimensional beings. And if you want to know what I mean by that, again, watch my dimensional tiering video. But yeah, these are the absolute most fodder people ever, okay? Then 11B is line level. One-dimensional characters. Again, if you want to know what I mean by one-dimensional, watch the dimensional tiering video. That's 11B, right, line level. Now, 11A is plane level, which is two-dimensional characters, like original 2D Bill Cipher, who I accidentally wanked in my Bill versus Flash video, but I'm gonna make a Bill power scale, and yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna go over that in my Bill Cipher power scale. I'm probably gonna have my good friend Death back on. Except, see, the thing about Death is, when he fused with Flash, he actually died and reincarnated into Overseer Prefecto. So, yeah, by the way, I'll probably have a link to his channel in the iCard or in the description. Check both places, if you don't see it somewhere in the iCard. But anyway, yeah, because he's the Bill Cipher tard, okay? I'm the Flash tard. Anyway, so, alright, now, next. Now we get to tier 10, regular, which is literally the tier where, like, real-life people would be in the most realistic stuff. Like, this is the tier that, like, if you scaled MMA fighters, this is your tier, right? Like, literally, this is, like, your Batman, your freaking Captain America, unless you use their high ends. But we're not going to talk about that. Like, what you think of when you hear Batman and Captain America, if you're not a power scaler, you haven't really talked about them, like, scaling to people like the Hulk or stuff like that. If you usually, when you ask people, they think of Batman, right? Oh yeah, he can bench press 1,000 pounds and leg press 2,500 pounds. That's this tier. If you think you're freaking little sibling who can barely lift 10 pounds, right? They would be in this sort of tier, right? So yeah, let's go over it, right? Tier 10C, below average level. Physically impaired humans and small animals, right? This is your, like, cripple over here, right? A little crippled dude, right? Or maybe your pet bunny, I don't know. But, yeah. Tier 10B, average level. Normal human characters, right? This is, in all honesty, probably you, right? It's, unless you're freaking, like, above average physically, this is probably you, right? I say probably you because, I mean, it says average, and, like, statistically, you're more likely to be average because you're the... Anyway, so yeah, normal humans, right? Just normal people, right? Your average run-of-the-mill fodder human, right? Athlete level. Athletes. Most fighting characters from action movies, right? Or, since we're talking about AP, that's kind of me, right? If you can do things like one-hand push-ups or handstand push-ups, things like that, that's average level, right? Now, well, no, wait, that's athlete level, right? That's like if you can do like one hand push-ups, if you can do like handstand push-ups, yeah. So like athletes, the average person from like most action characters from action movies, right? That would be your freaking Steven Seagal or whatever, right? Your fighting movie characters mostly. Then is tier 9 street level, which is grouped in with the 10s because like it's like tier 9C street level. It's like superhuman, but like barely. It's still like plausible. Anyway, I'll explain. Tier 9 superhuman. Tier 9C street level. Contrary to what the name says, these people cannot actually destroy streets. That's one of the biggest misconceptions out there. That's literally just a title, right? Street level, they basically are just the people you can still find on the street, right? But yeah, this level is peak human to low superhuman. Few physically strong Olympic athletes and martial artists in real life. Most protagonists and final villains from action/martial arts movies, and large animals like your bear, your freaking deer and stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, that would be your street level characters. LOL, street level fodder, even though most actual real life people aren't street level. So, and if you can't do something a street level person can, and you're calling them fodder, you're technically calling yourself fodder. But anyway, yeah. But to be fair, I do have some street level friends. They're always fun to spar with. As a matter of fact, one might be watching this video right now. Freaking peak human dude over here. Anyway, I'm rambling. Next tier. Alright, here's the rest of tier 9 superhuman, right? So besides the, street level people, which again, just a title for peak human, low superhuman, right? Next is tier 9B, because the last one was tier 9C, right? So tier 9B is wall level, which is actually the representation of what they can do. Characters/weapons who can destroy a wall, or those can easily harm those with wall level durability. Very large animals like your elephants and rhinos and crap. But so yeah, wall level, pretty low down there, right? Now tier 9A, small building level. Characters/weapons who can destroy a room or small buildings, or those who can harm those with can easily harm those with room level durability. Extremely large animals. This will be like your dinosaur, right? So yeah. Next tier. Now, tier 8 urban. Tier 8C, building level. Characters/weapons who can destroy a building, or those who can easily harm characters with building level durability. High 8C, large building level. Characters/weapons who can destroy a large building or a small skyscraper, or those who can easily harm characters with large building level durability. Oh yeah, did I mention this is where we start getting out of like living being territory from real life? Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure you can't find anyone who can destroy skyscrapers with a punch or a stampede. So yeah. Anyway, tier 8B, city block level. Right, tier 8B, city block level. Characters/weapons who can destroy a city block, or those who can harm characters with city block level durability. I guess I should make a side note that if you have city block level durability, this is someone who like survived having a city block explode on them, right? Now, 8A, multi-city block level. Characters/weapons who can destroy multiple city blocks, or those who can easily harm characters with multi-city block level durability. Next tier. Next up is tier 7, nuclear. Low 7C, small town level. Those who can destroy a small town, or those who can easily harm characters with small town level durability. 7C, town level. Characters characters who can destroy a town or those who can easily harm characters with town level durability. High 7C, large town level. Characters who can destroy a large town or those who can easily harm characters with large town level durability. Low 7B, small city level. Characters who can destroy a small city or those who can easily harm characters with small city level durability. Next is 7B, city level. Characters / weapons who can destroy a city or those who can easily harm characters with city level durability. By the way, this is a tiger level threat in One Punch Man. Keep in mind. Anyway. Mountain level. Characters / weapons who can destroy a mountain or those who can easily harm characters with mountain level durability. Right? That's like kind of like the level of like the weaker Biju from Naruto. Like that's where you'd assume they were at because their strongest attack has only been shown to destroy mountains. So that's where you'd assume they were at if you don't want to scale them any differently. But yeah. Next, but the Ninetales kind of stomps most Biju. Okay, alright. Just thought we should be clear on that. High 7A, which is large mountain level. Characters who can destroy a large mountain, or those who can easily harm the characters with large mountain level durability. Next tier. Tier 6, Tectonic. 6C, island level. Characters / weapons who can destroy an island or those who can easily harm characters with island level durability. High 6C, large island level. Characters who can destroy a large island or those who can easily harm characters with large island level durability. Low 6B, small country level. Characters who can destroy a small country or those who can easily harm characters with small country level durability. 6B, country level. Characters who can destroy a country or those who can easily harm characters with country level durability. High 6B, large country level. Characters who can destroy a large country or those who can easily harm characters with large country level durability. 6A, continent level. Characters who can destroy a continent or those who can easily harm characters with continent level durability. Keep in mind those would be god level threats in One Punch Man. Okay. Anyway, high 6A would be multi-continent level. Characters who can destroy multiple continents or those who can easily harm characters with multi-continent level durability. Another way to say that would be like planet surface level, right? So if you can wipe a planet, then you'd be multi-continental, right? But yeah, anyway. Next tier. Alright, next is tier 5, Planetary, where all the normies assume Dragon Ball characters are. But anyway, tier 5, Planetary. 5C is moon level, characters who can destroy a moon or an astrological object of similar proportion. Low 5B, small planet level, characters who can destroy a small planet, or those who can easily harm characters with small planet durability, right? Or, like, if you created a small planet, that would also be a similar feat, too. But we get into that more when we get to regular planet level. It actually explains that. But yeah, but like by small planets, they mean like Mercury, right? Like a itty-bitty Mercury-sized planet. Tier 5B, planet level. Characters who can create / destroy a planet, which of course they mean like relative to Earth. Tier 5A, large planetary. Characters who can create or destroy large gas giants such as Jupiter and Saturn. Fun fact, that's actually a normal planet in Dragon Ball. When characters are referenced as being able to bust planets, they mean giant planets because Earth is actually considered a small planet in Dragon Ball, like when Mecha Freezer and Mecha Frieza and King Cold arrive at Earth. King Cold's like, oh, that's a itty bitty planet. You could destroy that in one shot, even though freaking base, well not base, but like first form Frieza, which is like thousands of times weaker, busted a planet freaking way bigger than Earth in his first form with one shot, with one finger. So anyway, we're gonna ignore that stupid statement. But yeah, that was basically to say that planets in Dragon Ball are large planets in real life. But yeah, high 5A is dwarf star level, characters who can create / destroy very small stars, right? And actually there are calcs to put first form Frieza at dwarf star level, because the way he obliterated that massive planet with one finger, laughing casually, and he didn't just destroy it, he obliterated it until there was like nothing left basically. But yeah, alright, next tier. Alright, tier 4, Stellar. Stellar, dude! Anyway, low 4C, small star level. Characters who can create and destroy small stars. Tier 4C, star level. Character who can create or destroy a star. As in, you know, like a normal star. High 4C, which is large star level. Characters who can create / destroy a large star. 4B, solar system level, like a super perfect cell, don't at me. Anyway, tier 4A, multi-solar system level, characters who can create or destroy multiple solar systems. By the way, if you want, you can actually at me, link in the description to my Versus Debates Discord and my regular Discord. The regular one is for you to just, you know, chill, hang out. If you want to debate IRL topics, go for it. I love doing that, so there's a section for that. Anything else you could want would be in the description, would be in that Discord server. But specifically versus battles, if you want to debate me on freaking Cell versus somebody, debate me in my versus debate server. Link to both in the description. But yeah, on to the next tier. Tier 3, Cosmic. Galaxy level. Characters, Tier 3, Cosmic. Tier 3C, Galaxy level. Characters who can create / destroy a galaxy. Tier 3B, Multi-Galaxy level. Characters who can create or destroy multiple galaxies. Tier 3A, Universe level. Characters. This category is separated into the following matter. Universe level. Characters who can create all of the all of the physical matter within the observable universe at full power. More specifically, usually via explosion, omnidirectional energy blast, or shockwave. Battle of Gods. That encompass all of the stars and planets within a universe. Now, this is where it gets complicated between multi-galaxy and like universe level, because when does it stop being a multi-galaxy and when does it start being universal, right? But a good rule of thumb is, it was stated by, I think, NASA, that we are aware of 100 billion galaxies, and the number was soon to increase to 200 billion, so a safe bet for universal is 200 billion galaxies. And multi-galaxy would be pretty much everything beneath that, right? Like 199 billion galaxies and below, right? So yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. High universe level, characters who have an infinite degree of third-dimensional power, alternatively four-dimensional power, that is shown as completely quantitatively superior to three-dimensional beings, but this is less than universal in scale, or that allows them to create large parts of universal continuum. Take note that 4D power should logically always be superior to countably infinite 3D power, so characters within this tier are not necessarily comparable. Also take note that we consider most small-scale time-space abilities as hacks, not AP. So, yeah, like, some people, if you can create a, Well, if you can like manipulate like space-time, like Kakashi for example, and you can commonly stuff from this dimension into another one, you're not necessarily space-time level just because you can send something from one space-time to another. Because especially in Kakashi's case, because he's been shown comboing away stuff far superior to himself. But yeah, that's important to keep in mind. So yeah, if you're infinite, like high universal, which is basically if you can destroy an infinite universe, that's why it says infinite 3D. Yeah, so if you're infinite third dimensional, you're high universe level. Again, if you want to know exactly what they mean by all, like 4D is greater than 3D, check out my dimensional tiering video. Alright, next tier. Oh boy. Tier 2, multiversal. This is where we get to the really OP stuff, okay? Tier 2C, low multiverse level. This category is separated into the following manner. Universe level plus. This is for characters who can destroy or create an entire four-dimensional space-time of a single universe, not just a physical matter within one. For example, an entire timeline. Now, you might be wondering what constitutes a timeline, right? Now, this would be someone who destroys the entire like space-time of a universe, not just like the observable universe, like say Battle of Gods era people that destroy like, just the regular universe, right? But like this is for people who are like destroying the space-time itself, like base Vegeta blowing up the hyperbolic time chamber space-time. And yeah, it was a space-time because he was busted out of the chamber. Like, because there was nothing left to contain him, so he was out. Um, yeah, so base Vegeta from the Goku Black Arc that busted the chamber would be around that level. Now, low multiverse level, characters who can destroy or create up to 1,000 universe space-time continuums. The power difference between low 2C and 2C characters are not possibly to exactly quantify, given that the latter category, latter meaning the second or later, has to breach the distance between universe along a 5-dimensional axis. Now, that being said, it's not actually fifth dimensional feat. It's still 4D. But again, this would be like Goku Black Arc characters because again, base Vegeta busted the chamber, and then you could stack on his Super Saiyan forms, and then like Goku is relative to that Vegeta. So if you take Goku for example, and say both of them are give or take equal, and if Goku stacked on Super Saiyan 3, which is a 400 times multiplier, that would be, you know, more than one, but less than 1001, right? So yeah, but yeah. Alright, so next up is 2B, multiversal, or multiverse level. Characters who can create and or destroy 1001 to any higher finite, as in non-infinite, number of universal four-dimensional space-time continuums. So that would be like a Super Saiyan God Goku or Vegeta around the Goku Black Arc, or Super Saiyan like Blue Goku or Vegeta, or a Vegito and such. Since since it is a times B multiplier for Vegito, and Super Saiyan God is a bare minimum above fusion, like the Super Saiyan like Buu Saga fusion, it will be above Buu Saga fusions. I'm thinking of making a video about the fusion multipliers and like the god forms and stuff like that. I'll probably see if I can do a poll, right, in the iCard to see what you guys think. Should I make a video talking about the fusion and the god multipliers or not? Let me know on the iCard. That should be to the top right. Just I'll probably put a yes or a no. But yeah. Now is 2A, multiverse level plus, or multiversal plus. This category is separated into the following manner. Multiverse level plus, characters who can destroy and or create countably infinite numbers of four-dimensional universal time-space continuums. Take note that that the universes are technically lined up along a five-dimensional axis, but that their geometrical size still amounts to 0 within this scale. If you want to know what that means, just look at my dimensional tiering video. That would be like the standard infinite within said dimensional tier. In this case, it would be infinite 4D. Now, high multiverse level plus is characters who are 5-dimensional and or can destroy and or create 5-dimensional space-time continuums of not a significant size. Characters who can destroy and or create an uncountably infinite number of universes may potentially also be assigned this tier, as their geometrical 5D size can be higher than 0. So basically like 5D beings essentially. So yeah. Alright, on to the next tier. Alright, now we get to my personal favorite tier. Tier 1 extra dimensional, tier 1C in specific, right? Complex multiverse level, or complex multiversal. These are 6 to 11 dimensional characters. Even 6-dimensional characters can logically easily destroy more than a countably infinite number of 5-dimensional space-time continuums, and 7-dimensional characters exceed that scale more than a countably infinite number of times, and so onwards. However, these characters do not exceed the 11-dimensional scale of the complete totality of a full multiverse as defined by M theory. This category is separated in the following manner. Low complex multiverse level, which is, if we're being ultra specific, my favorite tier, 6-dimensional characters. But because I want to be 6-dimensional. But anyway, complex multiversal, which is 7th, 8th, and 9th dimensional characters, alternatively ones that are appointed at an unknown / unspecified level within this category. So if you say complex multiversal, you can basically assume 7th, 8th, or 9th dimensional, right? High complex multiverse level, 10 to 11th dimensional characters. Yeah, but I like 6-dimensional, because anything above that I think would be boring, but I don't know, that's just me. Alright, next tier. Well, next sub-tier, I guess. Now we move on to 1B, Hyperverse level, or Hyperversal. This is 12-dimensional beings and above. These are characters that are beyond complex multiverses scale. Hyperverse, in this case, comes from 2 words. Hyper, which is used in mathematics to basically to like say a higher dimensional space, and something extreme above or beyond the usual level, as well as verse, as in short for universe. So it is intended as a description for a superior, higher dimensional existence beyond conventional reality. 12-dimensional characters are more than countably infinite number of times greater than a full complex M-theory multiverse. 13-dimensional characters are more than a countably infinite number of times greater, so that and so onwards. Greater than that and so onwards. This category is separated in the following manner. Hyperverse level, characters with a finite number of dimensions greater than 11. And the other one is high hyperverse level, or high hyperversal, infinite dimensional Hilbert space characters. So yeah, if you're infinite dimensional, which is what I talked about in my dimensional tiering video, so yeah, that's pretty tough dudes, right? Take note that even if a character is more than countably infinite number of times superior than an infinite dimensional space or similar, it would still usually only qualify for a high 1B as long as the character's not as long as the character does not transcend the concept of space and time altogether, as in like the Platonic concept of space and time, right? Speaking of Platonic, on to the next sub-tier. Alright, now, Tier 1A, Outerverse level. Now this is the tier that literally breaks logic, okay? And I mean that literally. Characters that have no dimensional limitations. Basically, a being or object which is outside and beyond all dimensions of time and space. This is something completely formless, abstract, metaphysical, and transcendental. And the usual scale does not make sense against a beyond dimensional object. Such things cannot be affected by destruction within the dimensions of time and space or physical matter and energy. This space is which there is no dimensions can be the background for any dimensional space. Within such a beyond dimensional space, a dimensional structure with any number of dimensions can be placed because there are no restrictions regarding dimensions. Note all Tier 1A characters have qualitative superiority over dimensional structures and concepts, also more compatibly to exist in beyond dimensional domain does not qualify a character as a beyond dimensional being. There are two options in order to qualify for this tier. There should be either a qualitative superiority over infinite dimensions, or the superiority over the concept of dimensions in general should be clearly explained. Also, Platonic concepts would grant someone this tier if they're above a not a regular concept, but a Platonic concept, right? But so yeah. Now let's move on to the next subsection, which is arguably the weirdest. Okay, Tier 0, Boundless. Now, this doesn't literally mean boundless, okay? High Outerverse level, or High Outerversal. Characters that far exceed the requirements for Tier 1A, such as characters usually stand heretically above everything, including existence, non-existence, possibility, causality, dualism, the concept of life and death, etc. Take note that being infinity superior to a regular 1A character does not automatically make you another character qualify for Tier 0 rating. The ones that do qualify should be so much higher than baseline 1A characters that they cannot be estimated or comprehended from their perspective. That is to even be considered for Tier 0. A character must at the very least transcend baseline 1A characters in the same manner that they exceed ones bound by dimensions. It is also important to note that such characters are not omnipotent, okay? That's the part I had trouble with in my dimensional tiering video. As such, a concept isn't well suited for our tiering system. See the omnipotence page for better explanation. High Outerverse characters, although immeasurably powerful, can display minor weaknesses and limitations and be rivaled or even surpassed by other characters within their respective verses, right? Now, this is the part where I would usually talk about speed scaling. Although I cracked my time limit wide open, I usually try and make my videos no longer than 40 minutes. This one is going on, like, what, 45 minutes? But yeah, next video will be talking about the